So, hello guys, welcome to the online webinar. Today we are going to start one new unit. The unit name is BSBWHS 302, Apply Knowledge of Work Health and Legislation in the Workplace. So, what do you understand by the unit, Apply Knowledge of WHS legislation in the workplace? First of all, we need to know what is work health and safety, WHS, right? So in every company, maybe if you're working here in Australia, you need to know that we have some rules and regulations for to maintain the work health and safety in the company, in the organization, and we have some legislation under this work health and safety. So before starting this one, I want to know just okay. So it's the same procedure as like before. The assessment we have in these units, like we have to do two assessments. One is on work health and safety research, and the second one is work health and safety hazard inspection and presentation. In this unit, the common thing is like you have to do two of the presentations, and your presentation is going to be online. You need to set a time because we here can give you some timetable that which days we are free. So we will talk about this, and you need to do the presentation online in a video web. So let's start the main important things. It's same like almost every assessments we have is same procedure. The following resources are to be found in the student resource folder. So these files, please check that these files are there in the resource file in the website. If it's not there, just send us an email that you don't have the access to to log in. We're going to give you the access. Assessment 1, task 1. So this is one of the resource and hazard inspection checklist. So both of this we need this for assessment 1 and 2. And here are some important links. You can see these ones, 4 important links. This will help you to, these are some government website. So this will actually help you to know about the rules and regulations in your state. Let's say you are staying in NSW or Queensland. So you need to select your particular state. Okay, assessment 1. So this unit is going to be very short. I'm going to discuss about all of the requirements, tasks, what we need to do here. And you need to, based on this, you need to do the presentation. You need to make your presentation slides. You have to send me the slides on mail. And also, like this webinar, we are going to arrange one of this, and you're going to present your slides in that webinar. But it's just going to be you and me, or maybe any other trainer. So hopefully this is going to be fine. So let's start. This is the question number 1, research information sources. What we have to do here. This part of the assessment task requires you to review the website references. So see, I just discussed about the 4 links of the websites, and we have to discuss about these 4 website references to identify work health and safety legislation and regulations. So we have to find out the work health and safety legislation from this website and the regulations also that apply to the state or territory in which you are located. So let's try one of the websites. So this is our assessment. See, we in the assessment, almost in top page, we have these links. So let's select one of this. Okay, so this is a government website, right? And from this government website, let's say if you're looking for any NSW rules and regulations, Safe Work NSW, so go inside. See, there's a lot of information you can find here. You can search here, and news and safety alerts notify us. So these are some websites because we have four of the websites, and from four of this website you can find out about the rules and regulations of work health and safety that apply to your particular territory. Okay, and as well as two codes of practice that apply to Oz accountancy. So you need to find out the two code of practices again from that website. So for four of this website, you need to research, hoping that you'll get something to discuss about these two topics. You will need to know to explain this in your presentation as outlined in the next part of the task. So you need to also present this in your slides, these two topics. So very carefully review the information requirements for the presentations as outlined in activity 2 below. So we are going to discuss about the presentation requirements and instruction. Based on the requirements, identify at least 3 additional sources of information about WHS. So this part is giving you some flexibility that you can find out any ideas about work health and safety, and you need to put this stuff in your presentation slides. This is need to be relevant to work health and safety, no like irrelevant stuff. Note that you need to be provide sources of information to your team to assess them in keeping up to date with work health safety legislation and issues. So let's say if you found some additional sources of information of work health and safety from any of the websites, but in your presentation slides, please make sure that you're giving the links also of those websites in your presentations, because this is important. We need to know about your sources. So which source you got these ideas or these topics. Okay, because I'm just reading the question and trying to explaining you. So note down the reference source to in your presentation. We already discussed. So in this particular paragraph, we need to find 3 additional sources of information from any websites, and you need to also give the website's link. Prior to the developing your presentation, you will also need to review all segments. So this is the one we have the resource in our LMS, ats.lms.sabd.edu.au website. From there, you can find the policy and procedure. You need to read the whole policy and procedures, and then you need to give me some key points of that, policy and procedure, and you need to also present this in your slides. Develop a presentation. So this is going to be almost the same thing for assessment 1. Number 2, the next part of the assessment requires you to develop your PowerPoint presentation to present. So this, you need to make the PowerPoint presentation slides. I think you all know how to make presentation slides. It's very easy. Even if you are not familiar with the system, I can help you with this. So please send me a message that you're not familiar with the slides. So we can arrange one of the different maybe slides system that we are going to teach how exactly you can use this PowerPoint slides. Your presentation should address all the following. So an explanation of the importance of safe work environment, at least 3 consequences of not complying with health and safety requirements. So you need to explain this. Then again, common workplace injuries, accident relevant to office workers. Some information on this one, provide at least 3 examples. So need to also give some examples what happened here. Additionally, using this Safe Work Australia statistical data at the web link provided, and outline at least 3 interesting statistics about workplace injuries and fatalities. So that means we also need to conduct some statistical data. We need to find out from the websites about what happened, what injuries happened during the last years, in which state, and need to discuss, give me a brief explanation of that with exact numbers. An outline of work health and safety legislation, including the key purpose of the following. So these points you need to also explain. Work health and safety legislation, work health and safety regulations, work health and safety code of practice. These three you need to understand, and you need to put this on your presentation. A brief explanation of the National Harmonization of Work Health and Safety legislation and name of the Work Health and Safety Act states that have not adopted this legislation. These are all research. There is nothing to explain about this stuff. The title and the date of the work authorization legislation. So for like NSW government, the legislation act is Work Health and Safety Act 2011 Act. So if you search for this act, you get a better idea of about the act, about the law, all the rules and regulation, with the title and the date regulation that apply to states and territory in which you are located. So that means that you need to make sure which territory you're from. Let's say if you're from NSW, then the legislation is applying to this law, like 2011 Act. If let's say if you're from Queensland, then it would be a different one. Outline key roles and responsibilities of the employees under the work health and safety legislation. These are all online research. This must also include the requirement to consult with employees and training requirements and outline of the purpose of two of the code of practice that you have identified are relevant to Oz accountancy. So these points are going to the research work. Nothing here you have to explain or anything. Uh, just in a brief, you can discuss these topics. These 5 points, A, B, C, D, E, exactly these 5 headings. We need to just give a clear idea about the policies. That's it, and make sure after your presentation, when you're going to finish presentation, in the last slide you are giving me all the resources, the links of your websites. So I'm hoping everyone can finish this. This is not going to be that much hard. Very easy, just some online research. That's it. And main part would be the presentation. All good. Let's move on to the next one. Assessment 2, task 2. Hazard inspection and work health and safety presentation. So as we discussed earlier, this is also going to be a presentation, same as assessment 1. But in this assessment, we need to download the hazard inspection report. So hazard inspection report we can download from this website. So resources, yes. If we go to this BSBWHS Tier 2 unit, and under this unit we have all these files. I'm also going to upload the video here, but just for your reference, you can check in this one. Click on this resource. Say, so this is going to be the checklist. Our main job in this assessment will be, we need to fill up this assessment. And this assessment, if we read the policy and procedures, we'll get a better idea about this checklist. This is very like general. You don't have to maintain a specific reasoning for this one, and it could be a hypothetical answer also. Let's go back again to the instructions. This would be number 1. Sorry, this is a mistake here. So conduct hazard inspection. Before conducting the presentation, you will be required to conduct the hazard information of the meeting room where your presentation will be held for hazards. So it's just about the inspection list. Your assessor will set up the room such that there will be at least 2 hazards of identification. So we need to find at least 2 risks in that checklist. When you have identified the hazards, you must complete the hazard inspection checklist provided to you. Very clear. Your assessor will be assessing you on whether you have identified the required hazards. So the main purpose of that assessment is your assessor or your trainer will try to find out that like the main points you need to discover here, as well as whether you have identified relevant correction action. And so this inspection hazard is exactly same. The main thing is about the table, nothing much. Um, and you need to prepare the table. And then in second part, you have to do the presentation here, the final part, yes. So just fill up that checklist and make a presentation on that checklist. And again, same thing. We are going to do an online video interview. And that interview, I'm going to ask you some questions regarding that checklist. That's it. And we are going to look on that question, how like clear your speaking is. Do you have active listening technique? Responding to questions clearly. So these are some basic general rules, not that hard. So yes, two of the assessment is on presentations and some research online on work health and safety. So that's it. Thank you for today. Guys, please, if you have any question, you can send me email. You know my mail. I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. So that's all. See you on next webinar.